On this question, by far the easiest approach is going to be utilizing Desmos. Let's go ahead to the upper right corner of our software, just as you have Desmos in the upper right corner of the actual Blue Book software, which you'll be utilizing on the actual SAT. We'll click there, we'll get the zoom to where we want it, and then let's go ahead and just type this in. First off, we're going to type in the fact that f of x is equal to 3x plus 5. As you know by now, I'm a big fan personally of utilizing my own keyboard, but you could choose to use this keyboard down here in the lower left corner. I just think it's easier to use my own. So we'll go ahead and also type in g of x. So I'll just press enter. G of x equals x. Now, when you want to do squared, a good thing to know if you're using your own keyboard, if you just hold shift and 6, you see the caret key, and that makes the exponent option available. And I'll type in a 2. I want to go to the right on my keyboard so that it comes down from the exponent. I'll type the -4. I'll press enter, and notice they want you to find g of f of 1. And at that point, it gives me my answer. So the answer is 60, and we could totally move on. And notice you don't even have to close these other parentheses, although if you go to the end and press enter, it does it for you. Now, even though that is the entire problem, and that's exactly how you should do it on the SAT and move on to the next one, I feel like part of my role is to help you understand the math behind it as well. And we'll simultaneously go ahead and look at what this represents on the graph as we go through it. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. If I were doing this by hand, again, you absolutely wouldn't do it by hand if it was the actual SAT. But just to show you, you always want to start on the inside. So we're going to start with f of 1. Now, all that means is in function f, wherever there was an x, we're going to replace it with a 1. So we'll go in here, we'll input a 1 everywhere there's an x, and do our simplification. So 3 plus 5 is 8. Nice and easy. So f of 1 is 8. Now notice what that represents. Function notation is nice because that's showing us that this ordered pair is 1 comma 8. When you input 1 for x, the output is 8 for y. And what we can do here is look at it on the graph. So let's go ahead and input f of 1, and you see that it's 8. So that makes sense. But better yet, let's go ahead and make this a point. So let's go ahead and put 1 comma 8, and then I'm going to go ahead and label it so that way you can see it there. Okay, that makes sense. On function f, you have this ordered pair 1 comma 8. Okay, perfect. And then now we're going to go ahead to the outside part of this composite function, so the g part. So we found out that f of 1 is 8. Now we're going to do g of 8, or sometimes you'll hear it g at 8. So in function g, wherever there's an x, we're going to go ahead and input 8. And you could use your calculator, but it's not too complicated of a calculation here. And like we saw, we get our final answer is 60. But let's see what that represents. You have this ordered pair 8 comma 60. So notice if I go ahead and put g of 8, makes sense we get 60. But better yet, let's go ahead and put it as an ordered pair 860 label. And notice we're going to have to zoom out a bit to see that point. So 860 is on this other function. Again, easiest way was Desmos, and we get our answer is 60.